Hi friends, today we will discuss about free supply and gifts under GST. What will be the impact of GST on free supply of goods or services and on gifts under GST. There are a lot of queries which we get with regard to the sales promotion, goods which are given free of cost or gifts to employees and all those things. So we thought that we will have a very comprehensive video on the applicability of GST on free supply and on gifts under GST.
So let's start. Let's start with the first thing. So it will be very interesting to know that the word gift has not been defined under the CGST Act. Thus, we have to draw from and refer to other laws as well as case laws to determine the meaning of the term, the word gift. So gift has not been defined under the GST law. Now let's refer to Gift Tax Act, which basically defines to mean transfer by one person to another by any existing movable or immovable property voluntarily without consideration in money or money's worth. So gift as a word को define नहीं किया गया है CGST law में, तो हम लोगों को दूसरा case laws और दूसरे जगह से इसका meaning को define करना पड़ेगा. Gift tax में Gift tax had defined the word gift, which basically means by transfer to another one person when transfers to another person any existing movable or immovable property voluntarily or without consideration and without consideration in money or money's worth. तो voluntarily transfer करते हैं और without consideration transfer करते हैं. Further, the Supreme Court has held in the case of Sonia Bhatia and the state of UP in the year 1982 that a gift is a gratuity, an act of generosity, and does not require a consideration. But there can but there can be none. If there is a consideration, then it is not a gift. So if there is a consideration, Supreme Court ने further held किया है कि if there is a consideration, then there is no gifts. So without consideration, when there is no consideration, then only it will be called a gift. Further, in the same case law, it was also held transfer which do not contain any form of consideration, any shape or form, that is love, affection, spiritual benefits, any other factor may enter in the intention of donor to make gift, but these filial considerations cannot be held legal consideration as understood by law. So koi consideration, it will not have any consideration in any shape or form. Love, affection, spiritual benefit, these may be a consideration, but these are not legal consideration and under the law. So basically gift is when you voluntarily transfer money without consideration, movable, immovable property. It is an act of generosity and there is no consideration, then it is called gift. Further, let's move ahead. Further, a foreign court has held that to constitute a gift, the property should be transferred voluntarily and not as a result of contractual obligation. So there cannot be any contractual obligation. कोई contract obligation नहीं होना चाहिए contract के अंदर में to constitute a gift. So further, a foreign court has held that to constitute a gift, the property should be transferred voluntarily. बहुत important है, and not as a result of contractual obligation. In that case, a person agreed to give. उस केस में क्या हुआ था? A person agreed to give donation to the school in return of charging less fees for the education of children of that person. The court held that since such donation cannot be termed as gift as it was made under the contractual obligation wherein the school was required to charge lower fees as that person had given the donation. So to conclude, a gift, a supply to constitute a gift, the following elements are must. The supply must be made without any contractual obligation. So there should not be any contractual obligation. If there is any supply which is made under a contractual obligation, it cannot be called a gift. Second, supply must be made without any consideration in money or money's worth. There should not be any consideration in money or money's worth. If these two conditions are fulfilled, then only a supply can be termed as gift. hence supplies made out of love, affection or such other non-legal consideration can only be termed as gifts. Further, now let's move to the second topic, wherein under the GST law there are two places wherein we need to study about the impact of free supplies and gifts. So section 17 of CGST Act, which talks about apportionment of credit and blocked credit. So basically it talks about the input credits and scenarios wherein you will not get input credits. So section 17(5)(h) talks about, and it says, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1 of section 16 and subsection 1 of section 18, input sell credit will not be available in case of goods stolen, destroyed, written off or disposed of by way of gifts or free samples. So if you dispose of any goods by way of gifts, then input credit for on purchase of those goods will not be allowable. This is very, very important. We need to understand this. Further, also we need to understand schedule 1 entry number 2, which talks about supply of goods or services or both between related persons or between distinct persons as specified in section 25 when made in course of or furtherance of business, provided that gifts not exceeding 50,000 in value in a financial year by an employer to employee shall not be treated as gifts. So between employer and employee, if the employer give gifts to the employee, then up to 50,000 in a financial year, it will not be treated as supply. Otherwise, supply of goods or services or both between related person or between distinct person as specified in section 25 will also be treated as supply. Moving further, now we will discuss about various scenarios of gifts and free supply. The first scenario talks about when a seller sells product A and gives a product B as a gift. For example, he is selling product B, that is shampoo, and giving product A, that is soap, along with it. In those scenarios, basically we need to understand whether the seller is required to pay GST on the notional value of product A, that is soap, and if supply is not required to pay GST, is he required to reverse input credit of GST paid on the product A? So हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा पहले तो कि product A, क्योंकि product A वो free में दे रहे थे product B के साथ, तो क्या product A पे का notional value पे उनको GST देना पड़ेगा? और second चीज हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या product A, क्योंकि वो gift में free में दे रहे थे, the input can be reversed करना पड़ेगा क्या? So for this we need to understand that as per section 15 of CGST Act, the value of supply of goods shall be the transaction value which is price actually paid or payable for said supply, where supplier and recipients are not related, and price is the sole consideration. In given case, supplier, in our example, the supplier gets only the price of shampoo and he's not getting the price of soap, and there is no other consideration flowing to him. Hence, GST on outward supply shall be paid only on the price charged in the invoice. GST is not to be paid on the notional value because that is the only consideration of supply which is flowing to him. This has also been confirmed by the FAQ by the central government. However, this transaction will be treated as a composite supply, as a mixed supply under section 2 subsection 75, and in that scenario GST will be charged at the highest rate of the two products, either shampoo or soap. So in this example, the seller is not required to pay GST on the notional value of product A because the value of supply is the transactional value or the price actually paid or payable. In this scenario, the price paid or payable is only for the product B, that is shampoo, and the seller is not getting anything for product A, that is soap. So he is not required to pay GST on the notional value. This has also been confirmed by the FAQs by the central government. However, since it's a mixed supply of soap and shampoo, and GST rate of the highest rate will be applicable on the invoice value in this regard. So this is with regard to the first point. Now the second point, if the seller is not required to pay GST on the notional value, then is the seller is required to reverse the input credit. If he is required to reverse the input credit on product A, now we need to understand if the GST shall not be, we have already understood that. Now if there is a requirement of reversal of input credit, in that scenario, the first thing which needs to be established, that product A was paid, was given out of gift. It is because of the gift and disposed of because of gifts. As per section 17(5)(h), which clearly says that when the goods are disposed of as gifts, then the input credit needs to be reversed. In our scenario, let's understand whether it is a gift or not. See, as discussed, for a transaction to be regarded as gift, it must be a supply without consideration and without contractual obligation. In the current scenario, there is a consideration because product B is being sold, and there is a contractual obligation that product A will be given free of cost along with product B when someone buys product B. So there is a contractual obligation and there is a legal consideration. In view of this cannot be said that this is a gift under our concluded structure. So this is not a gift. If this is not a gift, then this will not cover under the definition of goods disposed of out of gift. If that is the case, then input credit is not required to be reversed, and the seller will get input credit of the soap also with the product which he has sold, which he has given free of cost. Now let's talk about the second scenario, wherein the promotional goods are given to the distributors by the manufacturers. For instance, food items or variables like clothes. In this, we have to analyze two things. The first thing is whether such transactions can be treated as supply, and if such transactions are treated as supply, whether the company can claim input credit of GST paid on the purchase of such promotional goods. So let's understand that the companies or the manufacturers, when they give these goods for promotional activities, this is very common, wherein many companies do give free gifts. For example, Honda manufacturers give various gifts to their distributors, and these are not out of contractual obligations, and these are not out of consideration. So basically this will fit in the definition of gifts, because this is not connected to any legal contractual obligation, and there is no consideration. Hence these items can be treated as gift under the GST law. However, in case of wherein there is a direct distributorship and wherein the employees wear these goods or use these goods during the course of the employment, then this will be under the employment, and then it is automatically out of the ambit of GST, because any employer-employee relationship is out of GST. So to conclude this part, if given out of contractual obligation, without contractual obligation or without consideration, then it will be gift. And if there is a gift, then the input credit needs to be reversed, because it will fit in the definition of section 17(5)(h), which talks about goods disposed of by way of gifts. So our suggestion is that the manufacturers can bundle up these goods with some contractual obligation, with some sales target or something, wherein there is a milestone happening on, based on that these free goods are given. If that is the case, then that it will come under the contractual obligation definition, and then the manufacturers will be able to take input credit of these goods. Now let's move to the last point, which talks about gifts to employees. So wherein, as per proviso to entry number 2 of Schedule 1, aggregate value of gifts given by an employer to employee more than 50,000 will be treated as supply and GST will be need to be charged. However, employer provides many facilities to employer provides many facilities to employees, such as transportation facilities from residence to work, food, beverages, canteen, without consideration. Now if all such facilities are part of employment contract, then the same cannot be treated as gift, and those are part of the employer-employee relationship, and there will be no GST on that. But however, if we include everything under the contract, then the tax liability of employee might increase, because these will be treated as perquisites. So it is very important to understand and plan the salary structure, wherein the employer-employee needs to understand what are the items wherein they can include under the salary structure, and what are the items which they keep out of the salary structure. The items which they keep out of the salary structure will be under the ambit of GST, because those are the services which employer is giving to the employee. With this, we have covered the ambit of gifts and free supply under GST. Do let us know if you have liked this video. You can comment and you can ask queries also, and we will more than happy to answer your queries. You can write on info@taxmantra.com, or you can call on this number also. Thanks for watching this video. Bye till the time we come up with another video. Thank you.